Hey, third hole at Pinehurst in the match play, in the match between Luke Donald and Webb Simpson. We have a par 4 short 327 yards. What's unique about this hole is this cream-colored patch of their area. It plays like a sand trap, has a bunch of special rules. I'm not going to go through them right now. If someone does land or get in there, we will go through the rules. I have a dog leg here. Factor is 3-to-1. Dog leg factor. And let's see. We got some red grid lines. All shots landing or rolling on the red grid lines will roll forward an additional 5 yards. And all balls rolling off the back of the green will roll an additional 20 yards. So we have to be aware of those red grid lines and rolling off the back of the green. So let's get at it. Donald still has the honors. So let's see. He's a 7. This may be a place where we want to. Let's see. 7's 255 with a 30. Wow, this would be hard to calculate with the dogleg factor, because we'd have to be almost aiming to land over. If we land here. So what I did some tests here that, let's say Luke did hit his 255 drive, and let's say we aimed right 10. So we'd come to this line at 225. Now for the go to 255, I'd slide over to this line here because it appears to be closest. So this would be 230, 235, 240, and that's 3-to-1, so go over. I'm at 240, 230, 235, 240, no, 230, 35, 40. 45, 50, 55, since we went 3, that'd have him landing right here, and then we could conduct the rest of the roll. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because we're going to get, boy, he could almost drive into this trap. This is almost a drivable hole. Wow. That being said, if we lay up here, which is probably, no, I bet you they drove over this. You know, if we land in, what we're going to do? We are going to aim 5 yards right of center line. Even if we end up in this rough, that's going to be a short chip shot to the green. So 5 yards, I'm aiming 5 yards right of center line. Here we go with the driver. Oh boy, that's 66 with a 5. 66 for Mr. Donald is a 36. And of course, he gets a long drive in this area, so we have to roll 1 die. We get a 6. So 255 with a roll of 30. And the left-right, since that was, he rolled a 5 green, it's left to right 20. Since we chose 5 yards right of the center line, he's going to go right 20, so now we're going to be 25 over. So this will be interesting. So 255, it's actually his normal, so let's go check this out. So remember, the way I do this is, this was 5 yards to the right. Now when I get here, I apply the the 20 yards to the right. So we're at this line at 225. The ball is flying over here. This is the closest line, so now we have to go to 30, 35, 40. 45, 50, 55. So that is where the ball lands. 255. And it was R20. So he hit over that sand trap, in between the sand traps, and now we have a roll of 30. But since he landed in the rough, it only goes half that distance. So 5, 10, 15, and again we come over. And that spot looks to me like it's not in the sand, and that's the way I am going to play that. So he's just short of the trap. He's in the rough, but at least very close to the green. Now what we're going to do is the same thing with Wade Simpson. He's a longer hitter, but we're still only going to aim 5 yards to the right. His roll is a 26 with a green 2. 26 is a 16 and a 2. 16 is 255, left 15, and a roll of 30. 255, left 15. Same thing here. Come up to this 225 mark, and now put my aim of, or my direction of 15 over as I enter the dog leg. And now we'll start applying the rest of the 30 yards. So 5, 10, 15, over. 5, 10, 15, over. Now, that spot is in the rough also. And he has a roll of 30 yards. We have that. And so we go up 15 and 5 over. So he ended up okay. Also, they're both in pretty good shape. Oh, I used Donald's and not Simpson's. So I remember where we were at here. Let's get Donald out of here and Simpson right there. Everybody lined up as they should be. So let's calculate Mr. Simpson how far. First of all, I'm going to roll to see if they've got bad lies. Red die is Simpson, white die is Donald. Red die is Simpson. He's 6. He is a poor lie. And what this is going to mean, I'll explain in a second. So Simpson has a poor lie. He is, we're going for the yellow pin here. So he is, if we aim for the pin, it'd be 15 yards to the right. And he is 50, 60, 65 yards away. So let's see what we got. From 65 yards, and the way I'm going to play this, since he has a poor lie, is to use the sand. I'm going to drop down from the rough over to the sand because of his poor lie there. So you can see if we go to the pin, we got a bunch of pin highs and a +5 and left, right, some lefts and rights. Now, yeah, 5 left is still on there. So that'd be okay. Now the question would be, let me look at this. All shots landing on the red grid lines will roll forward an additional 5 yards. Now, this is a tough one because I'm not sure this applies to the shorter wedge shots. And that's how I'm going to play it, and I'll get a ruling on that from ASG. But I think that only applies when you're hitting an iron into the green. Not that we're not hitting an iron, but shorter wedge shots, I've been told, designate where you end up. So that being said, this looks pretty inviting to me to go for the pin. So Simpson will. Simpson rolls a 63, a 6, 5 column. 6 is 4 down, so let's go over to the sand. It's a +5 L5. Sue, +5 L5. He lands off of the green. Oh boy. All shots landing or rolling on the red grid lines will roll forward an additional 5 yards. All balls rolling off the back of the green roll an additional 20 yards. So this is what I don't know, because I don't know if it would apply here or not. I'm going to say that it doesn't apply, that's where he ended up at. And that's what I'm going to go with. Mr. Donald is only, let's see, 50 yards away. He is 15 yards over, but that will not affect the distance. So he's going to go for the pin at a distance of 50 yards. And that's this area. He is a 7. 7 and 7. 7 and 7. So from the rough, he'd be, these are, I can handle +5. I can handle inside 5. So we're going for that. Luke Donald rolls a 15. 15 is a 6. Column 7, 6. Let's go over. +5, 0. He's going to have a good shot here. +5, 0. We roll. We end up on that red mark, but because it's a shorter wedge shot, I'm pretty sure I've heard ASG say this is where shots end up. So that's what I'm going with, but I will get a ruling on that from them. So go with Simpson. He is off the green. He can putt that. He's a 5x5, which is 23 foot minus 2 dice. Now let's see. He has to drop down 4 if he putts. You know what? He's gonna chip from the rough here. Let's see what his chances are by chipping. Yeah, he doesn't have a chance to put it in if I use this, unless he'd roll a 12 from the rough. So we'll end up putting it. We'll try putting. So 23 feet minus 8. It's a 15-footer. A 15-footer. You can see here that it's 8, 10. Down, we're up to 10. Remember, so he needs a 6 or less to get to sink this. A 13. I don't think that's going to do it. 13 is a 15. Make that a 19. Let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 7 inches. 8 inches. Let me go ahead and see if tap that in. 14 is a 23. That's good. So he finishes. Simpson finishes with a par. Now we go to Donald, who's 0 by 5. This is his chance to go up in the match. 15 foot minus 2 dice. Let's see, did I? Yeah, I didn't do this. I should have said for Simpson on all missed putts from past the pin, which he was, double the distance of the remaining putt. So his 1 foot or 8 inches would have been 1 to 2 feet. He's still good. Can't forget that with Donald. 15 foot minus 9 is a 6-footer. He's got a really good chance here of going up. He can go all the way to 25. 24. is a 36. Holy macro. 36 is he left it 3 foot short. Remember though, the rules saying all missed putts from past the pin double the distance. So we'll double that to 6 footer. He was 6 foot away. He ends up still 6 foot away. Let's see, a 15 is a 4. So he salvages that par. So after 3 holes, the match is still even.